Sorry for the late upload, guys. I was having a little bit of internet difficulty. However, we are here, and it is day 41, 10:11 a.m. in The Sims 4 Big Brother UK All-Stars house. All of our house guests are just now getting up for the day, kind of getting situated. A lot of them are in the kitchen and weirdly all staring into the mirror. A lot of them are doing that, probably just trying to get their appearance right, kind of get situated. They are on camera, obviously. The sauna has been very popular recently. We've had a few fights in there, and it has now gotten pretty dirty. However, it seems that Ryland, Allison, and Gemma don't really seem to mind all the grime and dirt. Even when Makosi walks in, she takes in the smell. She wafts it into her nose. She seems to enjoy it. Charley comes in. She seems to enjoy it. Davina comes in. All of them are just coming into the sauna to take in the grime and the gunk that is all throughout it. Tasty. At 12:01 p.m., however, Big Brother goes ahead and calls all of the girls into the music room. That way they can practice a little bit more before everyone's big performance later on tonight. They only had that one day to practice on Monday, so now is their last opportunity to kind of improve their skill points, get everything situated. That way they can really dominate over the boys tonight and win. If they do win this week, everyone in the team will receive 50 BigBucks, which would be pretty good. Now that things are going to get a little bit pricier, as I announced last week, that to get immunity from eviction, that now cost 50 BigBucks. So everything, including prizes for things and stuff like that, is going to increase, as when the house guests leave the house from now on, whoever is last will receive that amount of money. They are still going to be donating their prize fund whenever they are evicted until the finale. We see that all of the girls are kind of rocking out in the music room, while Allison, who is our big boss and is on neither team, is cleaning up the sauna finally, kind of getting that all good to go, while Brian is standing there naked supervising. All of the other boys are inside the kitchen, kind of chit-chatting and talking and getting their breakfast started. We see that Cameron and Luke are getting particularly close. They keep hip bumping and hugging and really broing it up. We know that Allison has actually picked the boys' team to win, so she is on their side. It's 3:04 p.m. now in the Big Brother house, and previously, whenever both bands were practicing in the music room, even when autonomy was on full, everyone was still being studious and focusing on their instrument. However, when we cut back to the girls, it seems as though none of them are, and instead, Makosi and Charley are getting into another huge argument. Hopefully, this one doesn't end in another physical fight, as there will be severe consequences due to that. And Makosi even brings in Davina into the argument. It seems to have upset Davina a good bit. However, their practice time is now done, so they didn't really finish it very well, and hopefully, these fights won't really affect their moods. Potentially, if Davina goes into the performance later still upset, she might not perform her best, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see. However, it is now time for the boys to go into the music room and get their last minute practice in. Again, we have to see if autonomously they're studious still, if they still constantly work, or maybe they're going to be like the girls and decide to waste time and goof off. I don't really know. It's pretty weird. I don't know why they were so concentrated last time instead of this time. The only one that really was Isabelle, who was a singer, and the singer for the boys group is Ryland, and I honestly think that they are going to carry both of their teams. They have the most skill points, and they seem to be the most focused on what they have to do, as they kind of have more of an interest. Back in the house, we see that the girls are still pretty upset with one another. It's not the best mood to be going into a performance. We see that Makosi is still upset. She was taking it out on Davina. Now she's taking it out on Isabelle. And Charley, obviously, is continuing to pick on everyone. She even heads over to Gemma and starts picking a fight with her, but Gemma's not having it. She quickly gets up from that argument and heads to the storage room to kind of hide out in there. Allison is now left with the girls girls, and I kind of get why she didn't pick the girls to win. She picked based on how close she was with all of the members, and she was only really close with Josie. So she picked the boys to win, and if the boys do win this challenge, she will win 100 big bucks instead of 50. So I kind of get it. If you look at this band and see all of them arguing and starting fights with one another just hours before the performance, I wouldn't be really picking them to win either. We see back in the music room, it does kind of seem the same as the girls, where they do completely just like stop participating and practicing, and they're all kind of dancing. The only ones that are actually doing stuff in the music room was Cameron and Ryland. The rest of them were just kind of dancing and getting their groove on. However, it is kind of still important, as all of them will be performing a group number. So I do call Allison into the diary room, and I guess this was the time I was meant to have her pick which one she wanted to stand behind, but I guess I spoiled that a little bit too early. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, so based on her relationship statuses with all of the house guests, she picks the boys to bet her money on winning tonight. And I completely kind of get it and understand. However, she doesn't know what's going on in there right now, and that none of them are practicing now apart from Ryland. It is 6:13 p.m. and it is now officially time for everyone to perform. So I've gone ahead and set up some chairs in the backyard. We've also cleared out the little patio area and put everyone's instruments in a dance floor and everything like that. The girls were already kind of close to the area, so all of them are first to arrive and take their seats. We have the girls on the left side with Allison going to be kind of our divider in the middle, and of course we have to have our boys head out of that music room and make their way to the garden as well. Now it's going to work pretty interestingly. We are going to have all of them perform individually, one piano song, two guitars, one violin, and then one solo, whoever is the singer. They're going to perform a group dance, and then our individual dancers are going to compete against one another, boys versus girls. And then whoever does the best in each performance will get the point. However, since Allison did pick the boys to be her team, the boys will have to perform first, which is a little bit of an advantage and disadvantage. One, you get to go first while they're all pretty much in good spirits, and potentially later on some of them will have to use the bathroom and stuff like that, so that could mess up the girls. However, also the girls could start having a good time and get inspired and really be in the mood to perform later. So we have to just wait and see if this benefits either of the teams. However, the boys are going to make their way up onto the stage, and we're going to start off with their group dance. Alright, good job, boys. We will have to wait for the girls' group dance later on to see which one takes the point. However, it is now Ryland's turn to take the microphone and sing his solo.
Beam stim steeb, voom vila, vila van. Beam stim steeb, voom vila, lava.
A very sweet and simple performance. However, again, we will have to wait and see how Isabelle does to see which team gets the point. However, it is now time for Cameron's piano solo. A bit of a sudden ending. It was okay. Better than what I could do, I guess. Again, we'll have to see how Davina does to see if he scores a point or not. But it is now time for Craig's guitar solo.
Kimpao Libis, Songaroon, Doodah, Doodah. Kimpao Royces, Fumpaloon, oh, Doodah. Hey, Gomba Renow Neeb, Gomba Renow Dwee, Samolim, Bumpaloig, oh, Zibzaba, Dibzri. Kimpao Libis, Songaroon, Doodah, Doodah. Kimpao Roybis, oh, the Doodah Day. Gomba Renow Neeb. Gomba renowned we Bem simolum bumpel oig Zambuzi bemazri.
I thought that was a really fun, cute little song that he did. I didn't mind it at all. He was clearly nervous, but he seemed to pull it off anyway. Let's see if Brian does any better.
Arcuba where snoib. Ha! Yelong City Larbler Bim a Kerpin de Sloib Nar Kerpin de Flo She Pompa Sagroif Bob before Sarbalar Blur Sar Werpsen a Thor.
We got another sudden ending. Don't know what that was about. Honestly, not that good of a performance. Pretty cringy. We got to see how the girls do on that. It is now Luke's violin solo.
Gibbs.
It was okay. Pretty quiet, honestly. And I love whoever was in the audience just going, yeah, yeah. I thought that was great. It is now time for our two dancers to battle against each other, that being Pete versus Gemma. He does have to kind of go over to her and start the battle, and they soon make their way onto the stage, and we are actually going to get an immediate result of who is going to score the point, and then this is going to lead us to the girls coming and doing all of their solo performances. So let's go ahead and see Pete versus Gemma. Alright, so that was pretty short and a pretty interesting battle. Honestly, I have to say it was a draw, as both of them did one move correctly while hurting themselves in another move. So neither of them did really any better than each other, so neither of them are going to score a point for their team. It is now time for the girls to do their solo performances, so Davina is up first on the piano.
Oh.
So this performance was pretty amazing. She did two completely different songs, both really well. Gotta give that point to the girls. It's now Charley's turn on the guitar.
Gibbs.
Winky on ringrow. Uda limglau dweed. Arba winky amba ringrow. Juxaponkatambui. Chachni easy witsy blinko. Rise zips word bien blarb. Ancha easy with combat sherbing. Demon blavo harb.
All right, before we give out the points, let's go ahead and have Josie perform her solo performance.
Gibbs.
So when it comes to Josie, she didn't score any points because she didn't have a song to add to it. And Charley and Brian were kind of both the same. However, Craig's is really good. So I'm going to give 1 point to the boys and 1 point to the girls. It's now Makosi's time to do the violin solo.
Gibbs. Oh.
All right, started off pretty strong-ish, but then quickly just like the song ended, but she didn't stop. It got very weird. So I'm going to give this point to Luke, giving another point to the boys team. It's now Isabelle's turn to sing.
Zerblimvu, Pambalavim, Wiflabarfin, Zernefu, Mishlativu, Fuma Deglection, Wishnoi, my love, Flizzamish, Wishnoi, my love, Flizzamishavu yibs, Zomboy, Loonies, my love.
All right, gotta say, kind of disappointed. I expected a little bit more, and I think Ryland really delivered. So it's going to be another point for the boys' team. It is now time for the girls' group dance, and they seem to be having a little bit of difficulty finding the stage. For some reason, a lot of them tried to go into the sauna. Don't really know what that was about. Eventually, they do make their way onto the stage. They kind of get into formation. However, none of them are successful in actually starting the dance. We see that our middle row of Josie and Makosi are just refusing to dance. They're just standing there while the front and the back rows are trying to get it started. Eventually, they have to completely reset, kind of move positions. They all switch around before they're actually able to begin doing their group dance number. So it's not starting off too well. Alright, so the girls' dance actually ended up being okay, but because of the whole difficulty in the beginning, them having to restart, all of that kind of stuff, again, the boys just kind of crushed this challenge. I don't know why exactly, but they did a really amazing job. Therefore, therefore, the boys are going to take home the win, and all of them are going to be receiving an additional 50 big bucks to their inquiry. And you can always look down in the description to see everyone's bank accounts. And also, because Allison chose the boys to win, she is going to win an additional 100 big bucks. And again, we do have 3 house guests up for eviction, them being Ryland, Makosi, and Nadia, with one of them going home. And the eviction will be posted either later today or early tomorrow, not too sure yet. However, the voting lines are closed, so you'll have to wait and see what you guys decided on and who will be going home. And I will see you guys either tonight or tomorrow. Sorry for the delay, sorry for all of that, but I will see you guys soon. See you later. Bye. Oh, and like, share, and subscribe. Duh.